The 2019-2026 Hyundai i10 is offered with two transmission options in Europe and the UK, 5-speed manual and 5-speed automated manual or AMT. The AMT transmission is only used in the i10 and also in the Kia Picanto. No other models have been using this transmission. It's not a DCT as many people think, since it operates with a single clutch. Also, it was based on a very old 5-speed manual transmission M5EF2 that was first presented by Hyundai back in 2004. So let's jump to common problems. First of all, the gearbox that this AMT unit was based on had a pretty weak differential. If you drive very actively and spin the wheels, which is quite wild for the i10 or Picanto, but still, this will lead to very early death of the transmission. It may leak fluid, and if you notice black grease spots on the transmission, make sure you ask your mechanic to check the fluid level and refill if needed. Hyundai has different fluid change recommendations for this transmission, but since there is only 1.4 liters of fluid, it makes sense to change it once every 50-60,000 miles or even earlier. The fluid is presented only in the mechanical part of the transmission. The clutch is dry, so the fluid doesn't affect the most expensive system in any way. Jerking and delays are just features of this transmission. Things will get worse when the clutch is nearing the end of its life, but even new cars will jerk a little since it's a single clutch transmission and it can be very smooth even if it's in perfect condition. The clutch is reported to have an average lifespan of 60,000 miles, which is not a lot at all. Also, active driving will bring its life expectancy to 20-30,000 miles, which is wildly short. And unfortunately, it costs a lot to replace the clutch, since it's not just a simple clutch plate and release bearing like in manual transmissions, but a big unit fitted with expensive equipment. It's not the worst transmission in the world, and it can last up to 150,000 miles with just one clutch replacement if you drive carefully, and this is not bad at all. But the problem I see with these transmissions is that any repair is going to be quite expensive. Independent mechanics are not keen on repairing those single clutch transmissions, so owners end up in the dealerships paying more money than they can imagine for fitting a new clutch kit or replacing the control module. So if you own the i10 or the Picanto with the AMT transmission, my advice would be to drive carefully and avoid clutch slipping at all costs.